Hello, everyone. I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your day weather podcast for this Monday, March 22nd, 2021. Well, the weekend brought a lot of melting snow, especially with what we had on Friday and Saturday. We've cooled off a little bit, and it is going to be cool and unsettled this week across the region. We saw some areas of snow and rain move into parts of Colorado overnight, and there'll be some areas of wet conditions in Colorado and parts of western Kansas and New Mexico. Drier conditions elsewhere today as we have a weak and disorganized low pressure system that's going to be around all week. Basically, the jet stream is going to carve out a trough over the western United States between today and Saturday. Small systems will then migrate through the trough, producing occasional rain and snow showers in the plains, occasional snow in the mountains. But these systems are not going to be able to get their act together to become one big storm. When you have lots of little ones and they just can't get organized, you're just not going to put together a big storm, but it will make it unsettled. This will bring off and on rain and snow shower chances in the plains, off and on snow chances for the high country, and temperatures are going to be at or a little below normal. So those really mild, sunny days we had late last week and on Saturday, well, we don't see those coming back for a bit. Then we're going to give you a La Niña update. There's some news on La Niña we'll share with you at the end of our podcast today. Here's the upper level pattern. We've got that high pressure ridge up in the eastern Pacific, so that's going to put the western United States in a trough. Therefore, that's going to be cool. We've got this area of low pressure today over New Mexico, and last night we did see some areas of rain and snow across this area right here, and that area will have rain and snow showers early today. Then the system is going to get a kick to the northeast in the Corn Belt. Parts of central and eastern Nebraska, this area right here, going to get some nice and needed rain, mostly rain, and thunderstorm activity as we get into tonight and tomorrow. This low right here will come in behind this one and drop south into the region Tuesday into Wednesday, and that's going to produce some areas of rain and snow showers. There's the low kicking into the Corn Belt. That low goes all the way from up here and moves all the way down into Arizona, taking a track like this again, but it will drag in some cooler and moist air. Then we've got this next little low up here off the coast of British Columbia coming in behind it for later in the week. And there it is. By Thursday, there it is, that system there. The other system coming on through. But notice, what we don't have with this pattern that we had with the big storm is you notice that we would have concentric circles of black like this as you would get yourself into a really organized storm. You just don't have that. You have a wave here, you have a wave here, you have a wave here, but they're not organized. This is just going to give us low pressure, cool and unsettled conditions, and occasional rain and snow showers, which is actually fairly typical for late March. Going forward with precipitation, this is what the precipitation looks like through Thursday afternoon. There's that good moisture for central and southern Colorado, parts of northern New Mexico. A lot of this is going to be falling today. And then again, as we get on to tomorrow night and late Tuesday, here's that heavier moisture for central and eastern Kansas up into eastern areas of Nebraska. That's where it's going to be the most wet this week. Areas just to our east. But notice there's green and there's blue patches from the Pacific Northwest through the central and southern Rockies, across Utah, Nevada, even northern Arizona, northern New Mexico, but nothing that's really organized or heavy. So it's going to be unsettled. There's going to be some rain and snow showers in the plains, some mountain snow showers at times and cool temperatures, but nothing major. If we were to convert it to snow, you'll see there's a little bit of snow, but not a lot of snow. Although the mountains here in southwest Colorado, northern New Mexico, northern Arizona could use some spring snow, and they're going to get some there. The heavier snow is back up into the Pacific Northwest. Temperature-wise, this is what we mean by cool. If we were to average the next 5 days of temperatures, this is what the temperatures look like if you average the temperatures for highs and lows, compare them to normal. And anywhere you see green or blue, you'll have below average temperatures. So these aren't off the charts cool, but they're certainly below average. So it's going to be a cool week ahead. Now let's give you a La Niña update. A couple of things we need to highlight. First of all, we have seen a weakening in the La Niña pattern over the last few weeks. The sea surface temperatures here along the equator are not as cold as they've been. Now they're still cooler than average, but you notice these little patches of yellow right here? Well, we have seen sea surface temperatures moderate some. Now, this is not to be unexpected. We're at what is called the spring barrier. The spring barrier, we talk about that for La Niña and El Niños because during this time of year, the sun is transiting right over the equator. So you get a lot of warmth, a lot of heating of the waters along the equator this time of year as the seasons change. So whether your sea surface temperatures are colder than normal or warmer than normal, the springtime sort of masks whether or not La Niña or El Nino is going to be around. So this is not unexpected. And while we certainly do see the sea surface temperatures cooler than normal, there's one encouraging thing when it comes to the drought and the dryness in the central and western United States, is that the La Niña, if it's like this in a month or so, will be weaker than it was a year ago, which is good, because the stronger La Niña leads to the drier springs and summer. If the La Niña does weaken a little bit more, that gives us a little bit of a better chance for maybe 2021 to not be as dry as 2020. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to end the drought or go to excessive moisture. You need those sea surface temperatures a lot warmer than that, but La Niña has weakened quite a bit. And if you look at the sea surface temperature change since December 18th compared to March 18th, over the last 3 months, the green and yellow here shows that the sea surface temperatures have warmed up a little. Not a lot, but a little. They're still colder than average, but they've warmed up some. But look at this. This is really impressive. Look how much sea surface temperatures have changed from the Gulf of Alaska to the west coast to Hawaii into this area here. So the Pacific Basin continues to get colder, but the La Niña region is not as cold as it's been. If you were to look at this, this is the newest La Niña forecast that just came out. This is where we are right now with La Niña. We're still in that negative territory. The green line here is the average of all these model predictions through spring and summer. And what this shows is that through the rest of spring, through summer and early fall, it shows a weak La Niña. It doesn't show the La Niña going away, but it is what we would call a weaker one instead of a moderately strong one. So this is somewhat encouraging. Again, I don't want to say we're going to go into a wet pattern because we honestly don't see that. But if this trend continues, perhaps maybe the La Niña won't be as intense later this spring and summer as it was in 2020, and that would certainly be good news. It's something we're going to watch for you, but this spring barrier kind of masks those changes in the sea surface temperatures. So it'll be something that we're going to keep an eye on for the rest of spring and early summer. So we'll keep you updated in the weeks and the months ahead. Thanks for listening and watching the Day Weather Podcast. Have yourself a good